Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stell. So I worked in a unit, in a group. They call it group, then division. That's the way it is in the bank. I worked in a division in a group for close to 6 years, and I never had an A in my appraisal. Like, you would think I was doing something wrong, that maybe I wasn't meeting expectations. Maybe I wasn't doing this. I was in a state where there are lack of industries. There are no high short industries, but I was doing my best. Like, I was going into government house to get accounts. I was going to companies. I was walking into people's businesses, organizations, asking people. Anywhere I introduced myself as a marketer, and I never had an A in my appraisal. It was so bad. Like, your bosses will tell you you're doing wonderfully well, you're doing the best, they will hail you, they will talk good about you. But when it comes to documenting my expectation of what you think of me, you will give me something short of what I deserve. Like, that was that was to me that was not good leadership at all. That went on for close to 6 years. I left that division and I got to a different division. I put in the same work because I'm a hard worker actually. I put in the same work, I put in the same effort, and I was consistently getting A back to back. It was not favoritism because I had no alliance with the group head or the divisional head or my boss. I'm the kind of person that when I'm in a place of work, I like to do my work. I don't like to play side by side or let me be your favorite. I don't know how to do that. I just like let my work speak for me, you know. And I till I left the unit I was, the group I was, the division I was, I had an A back to back. So what was it? Obviously, it wasn't me because it's not as if I came here. It's not as if I was lazy there and I came here and I began to work. No, I've always been working. You know, aside from even the appraisal, like all the while I was working in the East, I never got promoted. I never got promoted for those good 6 years. And that thing can actually be demoralizing because you feel like, so what am I working for? I am supposed to get to a particular stage when you see your counterparts in different states, but because you're in the East, you're not getting promoted. You know, I wasn't promoted for 5 to 6 years till I got to Lagos. And it was, as in, it was the only thing that gave me solace while I was working in the East and I was not promoted was because there were people who had spent more years than I had spent and they were not promoted. Can you imagine? Why would that be my condolence? Like, why should that be my what will calm me down? Because some people have been there for 8 years, they've not gotten promoted. What is the factor? Is there favoritism at play? A lot of things were factoring in my mind, but it was just a lot to deal with. Working in the bank in Nigeria is very stressful. I've worked with some amazing bosses. I'm not going to call out any names here. I've worked with some amazing bosses who inspired me, who saw that I can take up certain challenges, who put some certain tasks on my table because they know that I have the ability to do that, because they believed in me and they believed that I could do that. While there are some bosses that would, hey God, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. If you are a banker in Nigeria, I doff my cap to you. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how I did it for that long. Like, while I was in training school, the goal I set for myself was I was going to spend 5 years working in the bank because that was not my first job. I was working in an outsourcing company and I was with them for close to 2 years. And I know I did exceptionally well there, you know. So I told myself that I would work in a bank for 5 years. And I told myself I would leave as an SBO, that's a senior banking officer. So imagine now working in a particular unit, group, division for 5 to 6 years without getting promoted. Where do you now want to become the senior banking officer you dreamed about now? I'm so glad I left that division. I am so glad I left. It was a learning curve for me because I learned perseverance, I learned patience, I learned a lot of people would not they will talk good about you at your front, but they will not fight for you at your back. I learned about that. Then I also learned that sometimes it's not just about hard work. There's something what they call politics. And it's not just operational in Nigeria alone, it's also operational in Canada. I did not do it in Nigeria, but trust me, I'm doing it here in Canada. You have to play by the book. You have to talk about what you've achieved. Because I realized that while I was in the East, I was doing good, but I wasn't talking about it. I wasn't like in meetings, I just talk when I get questioned. Like, I don't come out and show myself, or do you know, I'm not that kind of person. I just believe that which I believe that should have been it. Your work is supposed to speak for you, right? So here in Canada, guys, Omo, that politics I was not doing in Nigeria, I'm already doing it here because it's in any organization, it's not just about hard work anymore. Like there's eye service now, there is always flaunting what you've done. Normal work that you're supposed to do, once you do it, still let people know that you've done it. To me, I just feel it's waste of time, but I'm doing it now. Then complimenting your boss. Ah, in Nigeria, I wasn't doing it though. Like, it was my own. But I'm doing it now. Ah, you look good today. No, no, no. Get on the good side of your boss. Guys, but to be honest, aside from all of this, it's very tasking working in a Nigerian bank. And the bosses are not making it easy. There are some bosses that the way they talk down at you, like you would, there are some I did not even tolerate to. There are some that would tell me something and I would tell them back. There's a boss that told me, let me even give you guys this gist. I wouldn't mention any names. So I was posting this time, okay, so it was during COVID period, that there's this particular pastor that was saying elaborate things about 5G and this boss is a boss I admire so much. I was so shocked when I got that response. I've heard people talk about him in certain lights that I was I usually disbelieve them. But when this one happened to me, I was shocked. So this boss of mine, it was during COVID period, like I said, and this pastor was talking about 5G and all of that, and I just put it on my status. I did not even comment if it was a thing. I even said something in the bottom, like maybe when you upload your status now, you can put a comment. If I had put a comment that was derogatory towards the pastor, fine. I didn't even put a comment. I just uploaded the video, and this man came at me and told me that if I want my life to be good, if I want to live a peaceful life on earth, I should not talk bad about men of God. Like, you can just even warn me that, Stella, put this thing down. But why will you come and tell me that if I want to live a peaceful life on earth, I should stop talking bad about pastors? I never said anything about this pastor. I never casted this pastor. But obviously, everybody already knew that what he was saying was balablu. So why will you come at me because you're my boss in the office? What are you even doing looking at my status? You come and tell me that if I want to live a peaceful life. I went back and hard and I said, see, you are not the owner of my, because our mouth is a what they call that thing again. I went back and I told him, I said, see, I respect you, but you see this one, follow. I am going to live a peaceful life on earth. He's not. He has no hold. No one has a hold over my life journey. So if you are a supporter of him, you should enlighten him because he has a lot of followers and this thing is deceptive. It's very, very deceptive. Why will you tell people that government is in line with blah, 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 and they are trying to make you stay at home so they can plant in so many things? As in, it was just, go and listen to the 5G theory of that pastor. I wouldn't mention anybody's name here. So I said that, and this normally I used to see his status and everything on WhatsApp, but after I said that, obviously it was a disrespect, and he did not even like it, and he blocked me from seeing his status on WhatsApp. I was like, so who will your status help in the first place? Who your status? As in, I was so shocked because a lot of these bosses are actually entitled, that they believe that because you work with them, they own you, and you have to do their bidding. I'm not that kind of person. Like, before you even see me say I want to go and see a boss or go to my boss house, I don't think I've been to any of my boss's house except my immediate team lead while I was in marketing. And that was, we went as a group. What am I going to look for? Who you help? Like, you're not my employer. You are just my superior. So why will you now take it as if my whole world should revolve around you? They put a lot of pressure on people. They expect you to do their bidding. They expect you to even work for them outside the office. That is what I don't even understand. Like, calling personal favors. That thing, when I hear it, especially in Nigeria, it happens a lot in Nigeria. It irritates me. Calling personal favors, especially outside the workplace. Except me and you are cool. Except we are on a good term. Like, I can call you my friend on the outside. But if we are not cool, like, I don't even like to be cool with my bosses. Like, let's just be on the massa side, But if me and you are not cool, why will you be coming to my personal space? Don't come to my personal space. I don't want that. I've worked with some beautiful bosses that highly intelligent bosses that they will inspire you to ginger yourself to, I want to be like this person. But I put that, hey, God of mercy, the words that come out from their mouth are bullets. Like, if people feel die, with the way some bosses in the back talk to their subordinates. A lot of people for don't die. I'm telling you. In the bank, we have contract staff, we have full staff, we have management staff. Those contract staff don't hear me because there's one boss that I know that the way he talks down our contract staff, you think that they are kule kule. You think that they are there to just come and maybe pack dust or treats them anyhow, talks down at them. Imagine comparing someone's salary with your earplugs, with your earpiece. Like, man, crazy shit. As in, sorry for cussing, but when I heard that, I was stunned. Say, who do you think you are? Your salary alone cannot even buy my earpiece. Like, he wound me. The guy they use Beats by Dre now. How much is contract staff salary? Talks down at people anyhow. To me, my word to those people is you will have children one day, and they will be in a position. It's not a curse, it's not karma, but it's just you have to be mindful of what happened. You don't know who of what happens. I mean, you don't know who's going to help you in the future. A lot of bosses that travel abroad, that japa, they end up doing the same customer services that their contract staff was doing. So why would you start by, if I see you in that situation, and funny enough, when they move and travel out, there's this Nigerian groups of bankers that people, join. And imagine you entering and introducing yourself and people are laughing. Imagine you entering and introducing yourself and people are laughing. How would you feel? Because you've not been a good person in Nigeria and you want to come here and start forming humility. You're in a country whereby these people traveled before you traveled and you need some connect. For example, me coming here and I meet someone that I've worked with in the past and I've treated the person badly and I'm trying to get my way and I need help. Do you think that shame will allow me to go and meet that person? So we need to be mindful of the future. All of you that treat people anyhow, sure, mind yourself. First of all, the company is not your company. Same way you're an employee, they're also employees. So that toxic work environment, scrap it. Have a new leaf in 2024. Have a new leaf in 2024. If you don't want to learn now. Don't be envious of your people. There's even one I heard that female to female, if you have a female boss, they'll be envying you for what you wear, especially if you're now dressing designer and they're not dressing designer. Problem. Hey God. It is where I don't even want to go into details. See, scolding someone for not working is another thing because me, I do it a lot. If you don't put your 10 over 10 in the company, me, I will tell you because we didn't come here to play. We are in a team and you're now slacking. Why? Is it me that will pick up the pieces? So that is a different thing. There's some contract staff, female, that their husbands are doing very well. When I saw one of the contract staff that work with me, when I saw someone drop her off, I just doffed my cap for that girl. If you see the car that dropped her, and it was her husband that dropped her. So because someone is working with you, you don't know maybe you don't even know if the person is coming from a very rich background, and the person just decides to work here because you know how Nigerians are getting a job now. This person just doesn't want to rely on the parents' wealth or the husband's wealth, just wants to make a name for him or herself. So let's just be careful with the way we talk to people. And if you're in that situation, somebody's talking down at you, please report the person. Don't keep quiet. If you're in a situation whereby you are not, and politely, see, I don't believe that two wrongs make a right. So if you're in a situation whereby someone is wronging, someone is doing something wrong to you, please speak up. Speak up. That's why we have human resources. Although the relations in Nigeria, they are not relating anything, to be honest. Because I've seen a lot of times some people still complain and nothing gets done. I just want to say that please hang in there. Don't commit suicide though because of one oga. Don't do emotional breakdown. I would even prefer you to report that boss than leave the organization because somebody that did not put you there is not supposed to take you out. Someone that did not put you there is not supposed to take you out. If you can report that boss, report that boss. If you can tell that boss that you are not happy or you don't appreciate the way you're being spoken to, do that. Do that politely. Do the normal process. I've seen bosses that have been sacked from the place of work because of these things. So nobody's going to say you did a bad thing. If you can send an anonymous tip on behalf of that person, send that anonymous tip and let that person answer for his or her wrong. Drop your comments in the comment section if you've worked in that scenario and if this is hilarious to you and you've not heard of things like this before. Please drop it in the comment section. I've even heard of one. Let me tell you this last one before I go away. Oga carry shoe throw somebody. I've heard of it though. So there are so many things that has happened, but I'm not here to call names or spill the beans, or I'm just here to create content and create awareness about things that are actually happening that should stop in 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I've said that a lot of times. Peace out.